Voter apathy or low voter turnout during elections leaves a serious dent on the electoral process of any democratic country. One such example of low voter turnout experienced is that of the recent held Maramba Ward By-Elections in Livingstone. Records indicate that the 2016 voters register had 5,376 registered voters in the area, but only 1,066 cast their vote during the January 4th by-election, representing a 19.8% voter turnout. Further, in percentage form, Evans Sakala of the UPND managed to get 54%, while Florence Masumo of the Patriotic Front managed to obtain 44% out of the 1,066 total vote cast. Further, a representation of only 10% marginal difference between the two candidates. From the above assessment, GEAR's initiative in Livingstone has expressed concern over the experienced voter turnout. Esther Mwikisa is District Co-Ordinator.
The ECZ didn't do much. Instead of them sensitizing people on the use of the old voters' cards, I feel they concentrated much on the new voters' card, because a number of people were interested in participating in the Maramba by-election. They would come to the polling station with a new voter's card. So if at all they were sensitized and told to use the old voter's card, the one they used in 2016, I'm sure we would have a number of people coming out in numbers.
Meanwhile, Tusasichaba Human Rights Foundation, an NGO which was part of the monitoring group during the Maramba Ward by-elections, says the voter turnout was very good, basing its argument from its research conducted.
Now, even if we took out, for example, 100 voters from each polling station by a year, multiplied by 4 years, it will give us about 3,377. So which means if we consider that people stayed out because they are frustrated, general apathy, they have been transferred, or perhaps they have passed on, it will give us perhaps a minimum of 3,000 plus. So when you calculate about 1,066 who came in, so it will give you about 42%.
On the other hand, the Patriotic Front, PF, describes the recent by-elections as a success for the party as it gained ground compared to the previous years where its candidates have been losing with big margins. James Zimba was the campaign manager for the Patriotic Front candidate.
Only lost by a minimum margin. I call a minimum margin because we have caught up. This is what we understand as a stronghold for UPND. For us to mobilize our party, and within this short time of 10 days serious campaign, we caught up with them. In fact, we almost won this election. It's just that it's one of those things.
UPND Southern Province Information and Publicity Secretary Neto Halwabala now gives his party views.
A lot of people are saying even if we vote now, we are not going to change anything. So others opted to remain home because they realized that voting for a by-election, for a councillor in a by-election, when you only have 4 months to go for general election, it doesn't make any sense.
With all said and done, the focus for political parties and other stakeholders is on the 12th August 2021 general elections. Muya Mokomputa, Movie TV News, Livingstone.